Hello, 2-5 Sports Reports is ordered in the building. Just want to talk to y'all for a few. So, acts of war. One entity trying to destroy another. So usually we think about college football. We hear about how the SEC, Big Ten, a few others may break away from the NCAA and have their own tournament, their own playoff, independent of anything the NCAA has to say. We see North Carolina, as it is, challenging the NCAA potentially due to the ruling of Tez Walker. But now the NCAA may become a casualty of a different type of war. So, needless to say, you all know ESPN owns the SEC and owns the ACC for media rights. Fox has the Big Ten and the Big 12 under their umbrella, and during basketball season, the Big East. So the word on the street is Fox is trying to put together a tournament with those three conferences to create a 16-team tournament that will take place in Las Vegas the week in between the Elite Eight and the Final Four. So, the Elite Eight happens on Saturday, and then the Final Four is the next Saturday with the championship game the following Monday. But in this scenario, once you get to the Elite Eight, that Monday through Friday of the next week is when this tournament would take place. Now, why is the NCAA in danger? Because the NIT is already fallen off and forgotten about as is. I know that I tell you all the time that North Texas beat UAB in the NIT this year, but if I wasn't saying it, how many people would actually know that? Now, with that being said, the NIT at one point in time had a stature that was greater than the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament expanded, became March Madness, late 70s, early 80s, all that good stuff. We got the upsets. We're good to go. But the NIT used to be the pinnacle, right? So now you got the Fox is saying, we own you. We have all this money invested in you. So we're trying to get our ROI. Now, problem is that these 16 teams obviously would be teams that don't qualify for the NCAA tournament. So now you're asking these schools to turn down the NIT, which in the NIT, you run into a lot of mid-majors, hence the championship game that I just went over. So I can see how it may appeal to some people to watch this tournament because you might have recognizable names. Georgetown, West Virginia, like teams like this, maybe Ohio State. They aren't good enough to make the NCAA tournament, maybe good enough to make the NIT, but if the NIT is just going to be the mid-major invitational, you already showed us that you don't care when we got to the Final Four last year with Florida Atlantic and San Diego State. So maybe there's some legs to this. Maybe there are people out there that will watch it. I want to know, would you watch it if this tournament took place? 16 teams, Big East, Big Ten, and Big 12. Now, the SEC and ACC, I'm sure, wouldn't participate because ESPN would say, hell no, go sit down, get in this NIT, or be good enough to make the NCAA tournament. But what happens when coaches get fired, players want to prepare for the draft, enter the transfer portal? Like, if you weren't good enough to get an NIT invite, potentially, then why should we care as fans enough to watch? Now, I'll watch just because that's what I do, but is it really something beneficial to college basketball fans everywhere? Now, this is probably, in my estimation, the first step of getting rid of the NCAA. You're going head to head against their tournament. You would have the advantage because your tournament is one location. It happens over multiple days, and then we out of there, get on to the national title game. Last thing the public sees basketball-wise, college basketball-wise, until the Final Four, right? Whereas the NIT, starts off on campus, has multiple rounds, multiple weeks, not even in Madison Square Garden, you know. So I wonder if that is the intention, is as an experiment to see how far you can get without the NCAA. But I just want to know your thoughts. So please like, review, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts. 2-5 out.